I came home early from my business trip because I wanted to surprise Sarah with flowers for our anniversary. Instead, I found her in our bed with my brother. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just stood there in the doorway, holding those stupid roses, watching my entire life crumble in slow motion. Sarah screamed. My brother, my own flesh and blood, couldn't even look at me. He grabbed his clothes and ran past me like a coward. "Mark, please," Sarah begged, pulling the sheets around her. "Let me explain." But I was already walking away. What could she possibly say that would matter? I spent that night in a hotel room, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment of our 5-year marriage. Every kiss. Every promise. Every lie. The next morning, I called a lawyer. I wanted her gone. Out of my house. Out of my life. Then the doorbell rang. Standing on my hotel doorstep was an old man I'd never seen before. He wore a wrinkled suit and carried a brown envelope. "Mark Richardson?" he asked. "Yeah." He handed me the envelope. "I'm sorry for your loss." "What loss?" "Who are you?" But he was already walking away. I tore open the envelope. Inside was a letter, handwritten in shaky cursive. "Dear Mark, if you're reading this, I'm gone. My name is Robert Chen, and I'm your wife's grandfather. We've never met because Sarah told me you wouldn't approve of me." My hand started shaking. "I'm dying of cancer. I have maybe a week left. I know what my granddaughter did to you yesterday because I hired someone to watch over her. I needed to know the truth about who she'd become." "What?" "Mark, there's something you need to know. 3 months ago, Sarah came to me asking for money. A lot of money. She said you two were in debt, that you were about to lose everything. She begged me for $400,000. $400,000? We weren't in debt. Our finances were fine. I gave her the money because she's my only family, but I asked her to do one thing in return. I asked her to bring you to meet me before I died. Just once. She promised she would. She never did. Yesterday, I had my lawyer check on where that money went. Mark, she didn't use it to save your marriage. She used it to buy a condo downtown. The deed is in her name and your brother's name." The letter slipped from my fingers. "They've been planning this for 6 months. They were going to wait until I died. Then she was going to divorce you and take everything she could in the settlement. The affair you discovered yesterday? She let you find them. It was intentional. Her lawyer told her that if you filed for divorce based on infidelity, the case would move faster. I couldn't breathe. I'm telling you this because you deserve the truth. I'm also telling you that I've changed my will. Sarah gets nothing. But you, Mark, will inherit everything I have. Not because I know you, but because in the 6 months I had someone watch my granddaughter, I also had them watch you. You stayed faithful. You worked hard. You visited your mother every Sunday. You donated to the homeless shelter on 5th Street every month, even though you thought no one noticed. You're a good man who deserved a good wife. I'm sorry my granddaughter wasn't that person. My estate is worth $1.8 million. It's yours. My lawyer will contact you next week. I hope you use it to build a better life. I'm sorry we never met. Robert Chen." I read the letter 3 times. Then I called my lawyer back. "Don't file yet," I said. "I need to make a few calls first." It took me 4 hours, but I gathered every piece of evidence. Bank statements showing Sarah's sudden withdrawal requests that I'd approved without question, thinking she was buying furniture. Text messages I'd ignored. Dinner reservations at hotels I didn't recognize. My brother had been borrowing money from me for business investments for months. They'd been playing me the entire time. When I finally confronted Sarah with everything, she didn't even try to deny it. "You were boring, Mark," she said coldly. "You worked too much. You never wanted to do anything exciting. Your brother actually made me feel alive. You stole from a dying man. He was going to die anyway. That money would have just sat in some bank account." That's when I knew. The woman I married never existed. 3 weeks later, I met Robert Chen's lawyer. The old man had passed away peacefully 2 days after sending me that letter. He left me everything. His house. His savings. His investments. But more than that, he left me the truth. Sarah tried to fight the will. She claimed she deserved her grandfather's money as his only living relative. But the lawyer had Robert's documented evidence of how she'd spent the $400,000, plus a video Robert had recorded on his deathbed explaining exactly why he'd made his choice. The judge wasn't sympathetic. I sold Robert's house and donated half the money to cancer research in his name. The other half, I used to start a foundation that helps people recovering from family betrayal get back on their feet. Last week, I received a wedding invitation in the mail. Sarah and my brother are getting married. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel sadness. I felt free. Because sometimes the worst day of your life leads you exactly where you needed to be. And sometimes a stranger shows you more love than your own family ever did. I never met Robert Chen. But he saved my life anyway.